Hey everybody! In today's video, I am going to show you this amazing kit, which is perfect for tags for Christmas or holiday gifts. I'm going to show you how to use the dies that match that Christmas tree stamp. Now, this comes with two dies, and sometimes when you look at a die, it's not easy to tell what it does. So I have the pieces cut out for you here so that you can see that this kind of fits together like a puzzle. So it cuts out the background around the tree, and that leaves the tree in the center of this little frame. And then there is a matching tag die that you can cut the whole thing out with. And I'm going to show you a fun little modification of the tag that you can make with this die, because I'm actually going to make it a little bit longer so that I can put a sentiment on it, and I'll show you how I do that. So first, I am using a bunch of Post-it tape to mask off the edges of everything except the tree, and I'm going to use some reactive ink. I'll be blending two colors of ink on both the foreground and the background. And the star doesn't really matter. I'm holding it down so that the whole tree doesn't move and I don't tear it. But it doesn't matter if you get ink on it, and you'll see why in a little bit. So once I'm done with that, this is a true green. It's the perfect green. So I'm going to add a little bit of kind of a spruce feel to it by putting just a little bit of blue on top of that. And I'm making this pretty thick because I am going to splatter it with water. It's hard to use the reactive ink without wanting to make it react to water. So I just sprayed some water in my hand and I'm flicking it over this tree, and I'll set this aside to dry while we work on the background. Now see those little skinny pieces of the background? I want those to stay secure. I don't want to tear them or bend them. So I'm actually putting this entire die cut onto a large piece of Post-it tape before I start ink blending. And I'm just going to be really careful while I'm ink blending. I can be an aggressive ink blender, and I have wrinkled some die cuts before doing that. So if you have kind of a heavy hand, like I do, then just secure these little pieces so they don't go anywhere. So I'm starting here with blue. This is just like a classic blue again, but I'm going to add purple to it because that's going to make the combination of the tree and the background somewhat complementary colors. And I think it'll be more interesting overall than just blue. And I know this ink pad looks blue on my camera, but it's really not. It's purple. So it gives it kind of an overall violet feel, which is going to be so pretty next to the green. So these two colors are just dreamy together no matter what. Now I'm also going to spritz this with water. This will be like kind of a star look to the background, and I'll also coordinate it with my tree. So I will pull this up, same thing, set it aside to dry, and we'll work on the rest of my little scene. Now I wanted some sparkly snow, so I took the clear glitter paper or white glitter paper, and I'm going to cut out the bottom part of the tag so that I can overlay it for a snow effect on my tag. But I did want it longer, like I said, because I want kind of a larger area to frame my sentiment. And so I'm kind of bumping it farther down than the die cut of my tree is going to be. So I'm going to have like kind of a larger snowy bank there. And then I will just run this through my little die cutter here. The compact cutter is so nice when you don't want to get up and go to your big die cutting machine. I love it. Okay, so you can see this will have some extra pieces attached. I'm just going to trim those all off, so don't worry about that. It's got a little edge of the frame. It has the trunk of the tree. That'll all go away. But now I have my little snowbank, and it's lengthening my tag just a little bit. Now I'll do the same thing with the top. So there's a little star topper on the tree, and I will just use my little scrap that I have left over of the glitter paper, and I will cut myself a little sparkly star, and that's why it doesn't matter if you got ink on the star. You will need to kind of cut out the bottom part of the star, so you want to make sure that you ink blended your tree kind of all the way up to that star. And then I will take my tag die. This is the largest tag die in this kit, and I am going to take the scrap that I initially die cut the tree with, and I'm going to die cut my actual tag, so the outside portion of the tag, kind of a frame die. So there that is, and I will be gluing all these pieces together, so I cut myself an extra tag. So the first thing will be, I'm just going to use my precision glue press, and I'm going to put fine little pieces of glue everywhere, all over the little frame, especially the edges. You don't want the edges to kind of come up, so make sure that you get those glued properly. So I'll put this down, and then just make sure it's straight. You'll want to make sure it's not stretched or warped, because the inset for the background depends on that frame being the same as it is on this piece. So just be careful not to stretch it. One reason that I like to use liquid glue is because I have a little bit of wiggle room to move things around, a little bit of time and wiggle room to move things around when I'm doing die cut inlay, which is essentially what this is. So there's what it looks like when it's all together. It looks so pretty. We still have a couple of more steps to go though, so I will show you what those are. First, I will want to color the tree trunk, and I'm just using an alcohol marker here. You could ink blend it. It seemed like a lot more work just to ink blend that one little tiny piece, so I didn't do it. And here's what the star looks like. So I will be putting the star down, the little glitter paper star down on the top, and then I will be trimming off the bottom part of the tree and the little edge pieces from this glitter paper bottom, and you can see I've extended that snowbank a little bit. I just wanted to line it up and kind of see where that tree trunk goes in, so I can make sure that I match that on this part. And I need to color a little farther down to get the snowy hill in the right position. So all of that's going to be covered up, so feel free to color as far down as you need to. So now I will glue this on here, and you'll see that I've added almost 1/2 inch to the tag length. So that is very fun. Look at the fun watercolor effects you get from spritzing that ink with water. Here's what the finished tag looks like with the little die cut sentiment from the same kit. Head over to the blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.